Hello and welcome to Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Hidris, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. The Geo-AI remote sensing specialist in terrestrial and marine environments at Arabian Gulf University, AGU, Dr. Manaf El-Khazai, delivered a presentation entitled An Introduction to Artificial Intelligence for Innovation and Technology Transfer. He explained key AI concepts and their applications in environmental fields and water resource management. The session featured a comprehensive introductory overview in which the speaker discussed the theoretical and practical foundations of artificial intelligence, highlighting the differences between machine learning, deep learning, and generative artificial intelligence, supported by practical examples relevant to general and environmental applications. And to talk more about that, we are pleased to be joined here in the studio by Dr. Manaf El-Khazai himself. Welcome, how are you doing today?
Thank you, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, I'd like to start by asking you if you could briefly introduce the focus of your presentation, which was titled An Introduction to Artificial Intelligence for Innovation and Technology Transfer.
Well, the presentation was focused on how to make artificial intelligence accessible to the students, simplify it so they understand the basics and all the terminology, and how we can move from ideas into actual applications that they can utilize within different fields, like you said, the water management and in the environment, and transform it from technology to innovation.
Wonderful. And how does artificial intelligence intersect with geospatial sciences, particularly in terrestrial and marine environments?
So, as you know, geospatial means different types of data like maps, it means satellite imagery, as well as location data. So in order to analyze all that large amounts of data through utilizing AI, it becomes much faster, more proficient. You can detect patterns that were more difficult if a human would do it. And within the environment and water sector, it helps you, for example, detect leaks. It helps you map coastal changes. So it's very useful in that sense within the geospatial realm.
And why is AI becoming increasingly important in environmental applications and water resource management?
So as we just mentioned, it helps you do things that you weren't able to do before. So it becomes a predictive thing. So we can predict issues before they happen. Like just the same example I gave, which is predicting leaks. That helps you prevent loss of water, preventing damages and costly damages at that, as well as predicting floods. So you're preventing issues that are going to damage the society itself, as well as cost a lot of money for the society.
Wonderful. And now you also discussed the foundations of AI. Could you elaborate a bit on that?
So when I spoke about the foundations, I meant the conceptual foundations. So the umbrella term as AI. I'm sure you've seen that diagram where you have a large circle, you have AI, then you have machine learning and deep learning. It's just so they understand what all of those mean and how they can use them, how can they benefit from them, as well as what they can't do.
And speaking about that, what are the key differences between like traditional programming and machine learning?
So in terms of traditional programming, you write your script, you have a set of rules that the script follows and it generates an output for you. But for machine learning, you're not setting the rules, you're giving it all the data, so it learns by itself and it sets its own rules.
And could you elaborate a bit more now on like deep learning and generative artificial intelligence?
So deep learning is more complex in a way that it's very good at dealing with large data sets, complex data sets that wouldn't be suited for machine learning, for example. So that's why it's very useful to deal with images and recordings, while generative is you're creating new context. For example, you can summarize things, you can generate essays, stuff of that sort.
And what role do programming languages such as Python and Java play in developing AI and machine learning models?
So in terms of programming languages, within the AI realm, they're tools. So you use them to build your AI models, but there's no one better than the other. They're all efficient in their own way. But for me personally, I'd probably use Python more because it's very suited for dealing with geospatial data, which is the focus of my work.
And now you've also mentioned supervised and unsupervised learning. Could you give practical examples as to the difference between them?
So supervised is when you have examples that the model can learn from. So an example of that would be you're teaching the model from previous water quality parameters, and the model learns from that previous data and generates for you new data based on that information. Unsupervised, it's just learning based on the pattern of the information. You're not feeding it any data to train it.
Thank you. And how are techniques like classification, clustering, and regression applied in real-world scenarios?
So machine learning, classification is when you're putting labels on things. So let's say you have an image of different types of fruit, and the classification would label each fruit based on what it is. So this is a banana, this is an orange, this is an apple. So it's as simple as that. While clustering, it's going to put them into different groups. So these people like to go out in the morning. These people like to go out at night. So it just puts them in different groups, while regression is predicting basically based on the trend.
And what makes deep learning and neural networks more powerful than traditional machine learning approaches?
Well, it's not exactly more powerful. You'd have to determine which is more suited for you. As we said before, deep learning is very good at dealing with large amounts of data. And unlike machine learning, it's good with dealing with large amounts of data that's not structured as well. So that's why they use it a lot in images. So that's how you detect different objects, like in the cameras that detect that you're using your phone, for example, or differentiate between a car and a human. But in order to use deep learning, the thing is you need lots of data. Unlike machine learning, which is when you're feeding it the data, it needs to be organized and it can be trained on smaller amounts of data. While neural network, it's what deep learning runs upon. So that's the complex layer in deep learning. That's the neural networks that are able to analyze those complex data that wouldn't be as easy using machine learning.
Wonderful. And now, how is generative AI and large language models transforming tasks such as analysis, summarization, and content creation?
I'm sure you've tested this on your own as well. If you have lots of, for example, papers that you want to read and you don't have the time to read them, then these large language models can summarize the most crucial aspects from those papers and save you time, or create summaries for you, as well as generate emails. So they increase the efficiency of tasks that you might not need to spend as much time in as before.
And I think a question that a lot of people have probably asked themselves, especially people who've just kind of used generative AI even recreationally, why is prompt engineering important when you're working with generative AI tools?
If you think of it, if you're giving anyone direct instructions that are very clear, they'll do the task much better if you gave them a vague instructions. So it's the same with prompting. If you tell the AI exactly what you need and you define it with the parameters that are required for you that you want in the answer, then naturally the output is going to be more refined. And this you see this a lot when people use different large language models like ChatGPT or Gemini or DeepSeek. Some people tell you they're very useful, while others tell you they're not useful because they generate wrong answers. So it's based on the user himself. If they know how to interact with these models, then the output might be more beneficial for them than for others.
Absolutely. And can you share examples of how AI is being used to monitor the environment, predict water quality or floods?
So in terms of that, you would need a lot of data. Let's say you have satellite data, sensor data, as well as historical data. Then you can monitor these issues that we want to look at in more depth. For example, in flooding, if you have elevation data, if you have the rainfall data, then you can use a specific model to determine which locations are going to be flooded, how severe the damages are going to be, which places should we act as or respond to the fastest based on all the information that we get from our predictive model. But it all comes down to what type of data we have to train our models.
And how do AI models and data sources contribute on improving operational efficiency and decision making in resource management?
So this is the same thing as when we talked about how it helps us summarize papers. In this case, we have a lot of data that we want to make a decision upon, and our models would efficiently summarize all this information and give us the best possible outcomes for us to decide, even minimizing some of them. Like let's say you have lots of CVs. People don't go over thousands of CVs now. They use AI models to look at what parameters they want from their applicants to make it more efficient. And after that rigorous reduction of applicants, then the human goes and looks at which ones are most suitable for the company. So it does increase efficiency in terms of giving you the final output that you require.
Now, you've really illuminated a lot as to how AI can be used as an incredible tool in issues such as, for example, like resource management, predicting these environmental factors. But what are some of the main challenges facing AI projects today? And how can organizations reduce failure rates among this like innovation chain?
So from what I've already said, I'm sure you've noticed that data is one of the biggest limitations, because if you don't have good data, then no matter what happens, your output is going to be bad. So we can't train our models if we have limited amounts of data. Second thing is fear, I'd say, because people sometimes are too afraid to use AI, or they don't trust what the outcome of the AI model is going to be, especially if it has a lot of weight to it. So you don't want to lose a lot of money in your company trusting an outcome that came from an AI model that you know is going to cost you millions. So there's that fear and trust issue as well. And finally, I think it comes to how you implement it within the workflow. So there's a lot of implementation that is not fully committed. So when they come and apply AI to their workforce, it's minimal, or it's not fully integrated. So there's limitations in that aspect as well.
Wonderful. And now I'd like to ask you, how do you value the keen interest of Arabian Gulf University in raising awareness about artificial intelligence applications at both the academic and research levels?
I can't speak on behalf of the whole university, but in my opinion, the interest of the Arabian Gulf University is very important, especially when considering awareness is one of the most crucial aspects in determining how AI is used responsibly. And building understanding in the academic and research level is very important in terms of how we use AI ethically, especially in alignment with the national and regional goals. Especially if you consider that we're an academic institution, you never want to limit your students. You want to give them all the opportunities and tools they have, but you don't want to hinder their education through the overuse of AI as well.
Absolutely, very well said. And I think it's really important as well that you kind of made that distinction, that there is that kind of balance between, I think we've even discussed this before we started, using it responsibly and kind of as a tool, as opposed to kind of using it as your own personal assistant. And now I'd like to ask you how you see the future of AI in the field of scientific research.
So looking at the future, I feel like AI is only going to get better over time, especially in the research part, because it's going to help us be more efficient. It's going to help us analyze larger amounts of data, solve complex systems, make better decisions. But I don't feel like it will replace researchers. It's only going to enhance and make our work more efficient, especially if we thoughtfully use AI with the right amount of data and have a clear goal in mind. I think we can create a bridge between research and actual world impact, impactful applications and research in multiple aspects.
Very well said. I want to thank you so much for your time and for really opening my eyes into and for our viewers as well, into the applications of AI and kind of, clarifying on maybe some misconceptions people have had, and for explaining your research so well. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for you to have me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We have even more coming up here on Bahrain Now. And now let's take a look at what's going on beyond the studio in the following report.
Under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Noura bint Abdullah bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Plus 973 pop-up exhibition was inaugurated at the Avenues, organized by Plus 973 Artisanal. The event reflects national efforts in empowering entrepreneurs by developing their potential, encouraging innovation, and promoting excellence in their ventures. The exhibition featured a selection of accessories, clothes, and perfumes, and it continues until January 27th at the Avenues Mall.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Avenues Bahrain. Today we are very excited that we are hosting today the second edition of the 973 collaboration with the Ramadan market. And this market is very important for us because we are supporting local tenants, entrepreneurship. And today we are opening, and this will continue till end of Ramadan. And we are expecting everyone to come and here and visit our Ramadan market. We have different varieties. We have clothing, fashion, we have jewelries, and we have perfumes. It will be a very nice Ramadan market. So as I said, we are welcoming everyone, we are expecting everyone, and wish you also the Ramadan Mubarak and abundance.
On the occasion of 77th Republic Day of India, the national flag was unfurled by Ambassador His Excellency Mr. Vinod K. Jacob in the morning, followed by a reception in the evening in the presence of His Excellency Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kingdom of Bahrain. The ceremony in the morning, which was attended by around 1,000 people, began with the ambassador offering floral tribute to Gandhi. The ambassador read excerpts from the address to the nation by humble President of India, Draupadi Murmu, followed by a cultural performance. Later in the evening, the embassy hosted the reception for 77th Republic Day of India, which saw the attendance of members of parliament, senior officials of the government of the Kingdom of Bahrain, heads of diplomatic missions and members of diplomatic corps, prominent businessmen, members of the Bahrain Chamber and Bahrain India Society.
Today, 26 January, is the Republic Day of India. In 1950, on 26 January, India adopted a new constitution and became a republic. And that is why we are celebrating 26 January every year as Republic Day. The theme for the Republic Day this year is Atmanirbhar Bharat, or Self-Reliant India, and it also marks 150 years of India's national song called Vande Mataram. On this day, I am also happy to share, as the Ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Bahrain, that 2026 is the 55 years of establishment of diplomatic relations between India and the Kingdom of Bahrain. So it is very important for Bahraini friends as well, and I hope to work with the entire government of the Kingdom of Bahrain, the Bahraini people, Indians in Bahrain, to take India-Bahrain bilateral relations forward. And I want to convey my greetings to the viewers of Bahrain TV and convey appreciation for the wise leadership and guidance of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Prime Minister and Crown Prince, the entire royal family, the government of Bahrain, and the friendly Bahraini people. I thank you.
This brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for watching, and you can reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We love to hear from you. This was Khalid Hidris. Until next time, good night and God bless.